IRS is typically taking somewhere between 6 and 10 weeks right now to process amended 1040s. And again, if the income is going to be above those limits in 2008 or 2009, the adjusted gross, remember it's adjusted gross income, then it may behoove you, the individual, to decide to take it on the 2009 or 2008, depending upon the income level. So how do we get the cash faster, the $8,000? Well, we want to get the cash to closing table. How do we do that? Well, one way is if you know you're buying a house, you could adjust the withholding from a paycheck prior to closing, and this would be qualified funds, and you could actually use that for down payment. But most people don't have enough time frame between the time they want to purchase the house to withhold a full $8,000, to keep $8,000 less being withheld. That is one way to do it. Another way is a gift from a relative, or on an FHA loan, HUD does allow advance loans on a tax refund to be used towards closing costs, typically in most cases not towards down payment. In the oddball case, a down payment is allowable. So again, it's just like borrowing, doing a rapid refund with some of these other folks. Okay, so let's talk about the fine print. This is all great, Paul, but what's going on? Do I really get $8,000 for just buying a house, which I was going to do anyway because the market was so good? Well, if the first-time home buyer is to sell the house in the first 3 years, then the full $8,000 credit must be repaid, and that would be repaid when the tax returns are filed in the year that the house was sold. And there are the income limitations, which we talked about. But remember, the income limitations only apply for the year the refund's being taken. So if somebody were to earn more income beyond those limitations in year 2 and 3, that's okay. It does not have to be repaid. And here's a sample of the form you use to amend your 1040s. It's called a 5405, and it's a first-time homebuyer tax credit form. And this is the one that you would do to amend your 2008 taxes, and this is the line on the 1040 that you use to take that credit on the amendment. So let's kind of take a quick summarization here. Think of the $8,000 as just a housewarming gift from Uncle Sam. It's kind of a nice gift. And remember, interest rates, even though they've crept up a little bit, are amazingly low. Prices are very good for homes. It's a great time to buy a house, and what a good opportunity to get the $8,000. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up to question and answers. So what we'll do here is if you either would like to type, if you expand your bar out, you can type a question, or if you prefer, you may raise your hand and ask a question, and I can unmute you. So we will work on that right now. And I see I've got a few hands raised, so here we go. All right. Sherry, you are unmuted. What is your question? Sherry? Hello? Do you have a question? Okay. We are now going to go to Donna. You have your hand raised. You should be receiving a pin. Okay. I've got a question that somebody has written in. What happens if a married couple buys a house and the husband's owned a house in the last 3 years but the wife has not? If the couple is married and they both are on title of the home, one of them has owned a house the last 3 years, there is no tax credit. Now, if the person in the couple who has owned the house is not on title, then the spouse can take the tax credit. Okay, Donna, Kyle, you had your hand up. What's your question?
Basically, kind of similar to the one you just answered. There's a separation involved here of over 2 years, and he bought a home in 2007 without my name on it, and now I want to buy one without his name. The only reason we're staying married is for business reasons.
Okay, so that's almost the exact same question. So if
Right.
you're buying a house and you're married, technically, I mean you are married, and you're the only one on title, then you would qualify for the tax credit.
All right. Previously, we filed jointly. Should we file separately as
My
married?
well, I always want to say consult your tax advisor, but I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay.
It has to do with who's on title.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem. Okay, now I'm going to try Sherry again. Sherry? Hello? Sherry? You have your hand raised? Okay, I've got another question that someone had asked. What if two people who are unmarried buy a house? Can they both qualify for the tax credit? And the answer to that is yes. However, it's a $8,000 credit, so it's done by property. So if you bought a $160,000 home and they're both equal owners, they could split the tax credit in half if they don't both get the $8,000 tax credit. It's 10% of the property value to a max of $8,000. Now, if one of the folks had owned a house before, this is where the married folks are penalized, and the other one hasn't, the person who had not owned a house before can take the full tax credit. So that's a difference there. Okay. Yeah, I got another question. Yes, the $8,000 does not have to be repaid unless the house is sold in the first 3 years. So that's the only time where it would have to be repaid, unlike the $7,500 tax credit in 2008 that had to be repaid interest-free over the last 3 years. All right, it looks like I've got Donna here. She's got her hand raised again, so we'll go ahead and open the microphone up to you. Hold on. Okay, Donna?
You answered my question already.
Okay. Oh, your hand's still raised. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Yeah, someone else had asked the question, if two unmarried folks bought a house, they would qualify to, yes, but they would have to split the tax credit. So that's correct. All right. Well, if I don't have any more questions, please feel free to email any of us at Trustmore if you have any other questions or need some help. But again, it's a great time to buy. Rates are amazingly low, and we do look forward to working with you. If you have any questions, hold on one second. Looks like I'm getting another question in right now, and let's see what that is. Tax credit. Somebody wanted to know if the tax credit is going to be extended into 2010, and my guess is as good as yours on that. My crystal ball is definitely broken. I would love to see that. Given the current makeup of Congress right now, I kind of doubt it, but I'd give it a 50-50 chance. There is a bill out there, and I would not wait for this to happen because I don't think it's going to happen. It's been up before and not passed, of a $15,000 credit for all home buyers. But again, I think the opportunity is now. While prices are down, we actually saw the Case-Shiller index show home prices are on the rise. So it's probably the really great opportunity time with low rates and home prices low and sellers paying closing costs to buy a house. So very good question, Sherry. All right. Then I will go ahead and wrap this up. And again, thank you for joining us. Hopefully this is worth your while, and we all look forward to working with you shortly. Thanks a bunch.